Hello everyone, it's Scott, and we're back for week 3 of Tarkir Dragonstorm Standard Season, and we're going to talk today about which of the cards from Dragonstorm are having the most impact on Standard after the 3rd week. So our first one is Glacial Dragon Hunt, and this is a card where you get to draw a card, discard a card. If you discard a non-land, you get to deal 3 damage, and it also has Harmonize. It's been a very important card in the Jeskai Oculus deck, a way to get your Oculus into the graveyard or other things you need into the graveyard so you can reanimate those things. And we saw 30,000 games of regular Standard on Arena with the card. Next, we've got Sun Pearl Kirin. For 1 and a white mana, you get your Kirin, and it has Flash, which is an important ability. And when it comes in onto the battlefield, you may return up to 1 target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hands. If it's a token, you get to draw that card. And we're seeing this in the Orzhov control deck, Esper self-bounce deck, and even Abzan mid-range deck now. And we saw 33,000 games between the 3 decks. So I think this is again a card that we've talked about a couple times already as one of the better uncommons from the set. Next we've got Tursa Light Shatter. Okay, 3 mana Orc Wizard, legendary 3/3, and again the important ability on it is whenever Tursa Light Shatter attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard, you may play that card this turn. And because of the different decks that are out there using Tursa right now, there's a lot of ways to get cards into your graveyard, either through self-milling or discarding, and it's really becoming one of the key cards in Standard. So we're seeing it in Mono Red, Jeskai Oculus, Is It Prowess, Is It Discard, and even 5-color Reanimator. We're seeing this, and we saw 42,000 games of Standard with it over the last week. All right, coming in number 2, we have Meringue River Regent, 6 mana, 6/7 flyer, dragon. When this card enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hand. So when you play this, you're going to return 2 cards your opponent controls to their hand. And it also has Coiling Catch for 3 and a blue mana. You get an instant, that's an omen, and you get to draw 3 and then discard a card. And this is the card that's kind of come out of nowhere over the last couple of weeks to really become a Standard player in terms of the different decks that are using. We've got Azorius Omniscience, Soul-Tide Dragons, Jeskai Control, Azorius Control, Dimir Control, all playing this card as their kind of top-end finisher. 45,000 games across the 4 decks, or 5 decks here. So I think this is a card that, if you don't have it already, certainly a card to look at having in your collection, because I think it's going to be one of the cards from the set that may end up being one of the better ones over the long haul. All right. And our number 1 card of the week, again, was Kori Steelcutter for 1 and a red mana. You get the equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has trample and haste, and with the flurry ability, whenever you cast your second spell, each turn you get to create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. Okay, and you get to attach Kori Steelcutter to that. And we saw 61,000 games of Standard with it over the last week. Is It Prowess, Mono Red Aggro, Gruul Prowess, Jeskai Midrange, Boros Tokens, Grixis Bows, Rakdos Sacrifice are all using Kori Steelcutter as an important card in those decks. So I'm going to believe that people are going to start pivoting in terms of their removal. I think we're going to start to see more artifact removal in Standard because of Kori Steelcutter's just prominence on the arena ladder and in Standard in general. And hopefully you got your 4 copies of Kori Steelcutter before they became the kind of the top costing rare from the set. But Kori Steelcutter, I think, is going to be a card that we're going to see a lot of over the next 3 years. All right, so those are the top 5 cards for the week for Standard from Tarkir Dragonstorm, seeing the most play in best of 3 games across the format. Thanks for staying to the end of the video, and remember to like and subscribe to get further content like this throughout Tarkir Dragonstorm season and beyond. Thanks, I'll see you in the next one.